Greetings, fellow citizens of Disneyland. Bricky here. Today's adventure, let's look at everything new that we can find happen at the Disneyland Resort, and let's talk about all the details that we know about Touch of Disney, a new ticketed event that will be happening at Disney's California Adventure, where they're bringing Disneyland vibes over into DCA. That means Disneyland food, Disneyland friends, and a soundtrack of reimagined Disney songs that will be broadcast throughout the park with a radio announcer who shares jingles and reminders about many can't-miss Disney experiences. Let's get started with what's new this week at Disneyland. Well, friends, we have sadly reached the final days of free DCA. That means real soon we will no longer be able to come and go as we please in the shopping and dining district, the pandemic district, that's been made available for free for everyone since back in November. We knew that it wouldn't last forever, and now that day has come upon us. Your last day to visit free DCA will be Sunday, March 14th. At the end of that operational day, there'll be no more free DCA. And that's due to the fact that Thursday, March 18th, Touch of Disney will start. It will run Thursdays through Mondays from noon to 8 p.m., leaving DCA closed, as far as we know, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. It won't reopen for shopping on those 2 days. That means last call for free vibes, y'all, is going to be at the end of the day on Sunday, March 14th. Touch of Disney is expected to run until April 5th. Now, I say expected to run because I have a feeling if these tickets do very well over these 15 dates, that they will expand it. I mean, why wouldn't they? And before we get started breaking down everything that's included with Touch of Disney, let's get this out of the way right now. $75 ticket for admission. That does include your parking over at the Mickey and Friends parking structure. It will also give you unlimited downloads of Disney Photo Pass photos taken during the experience. And most importantly, you get a $25 Touch of Disney dining card, which will be valid towards the food that you purchase, but will not count towards your alcohol. That's on you, bro. To me, the most exciting part about Touch of Disney, and really what I will be spending $75 on, is this. Finally getting the opportunity to rediscover, to rewalk the entire footprint of the park. I believe we'll be able to walk everywhere you can imagine, except for a couple of spots in Hollywoodland that might get a little bit too close to the upcoming Avengers campus. But if you're like me, typically you think of this area through here and the parade route as where food festivals happen, but Touch of Disney is going to be a new way to walk through the park with someone special, with someone that you're just excited to get back to something that feels like a step towards normalcy. And sure, the one thing that will not feel normal, and I talked about this in last week's update, yes, it's going to feel weird walking through an entire footprint of DCA with all of these attractions that we have so many great memories and such an emotional attachment to being completely closed. But what I would encourage you to do right now is get your mind in the place where this is a new experience, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to enjoy Disney's California Adventure in a way that you've never enjoyed it before. And while I know that this is completely possible, because this right here is possibly the worst land at the entire Disney resort, and I am so thankful to stand in it each and every week. I'm curious to see, will they reopen the ice cold refreshment stand here? Will they reopen the food truck? Like, I have so much curiosity for this event when I get to walk through Touch of Disney and just go land by land, street by street, path by path, rediscovering this place that I love all over again. I do believe, though, that we will not get past the Hyperion Theater there up on the right of your screen, because if you go any further down, you're going to be walking into Avengers campus. So I feel like that will probably be the one barrier, but it feels as if the rest of the park will be free game. All right, so let's get into talking about food, because it is, even though they're not saying food festival, it is a food festival. And by buying your $75 ticket, you're going to get a $25 voucher for food. So you know you're going to eat something, but where you're going to eat it, where you're actually going to physically sit down and eat it, what you're going to eat, where you're going to buy it, that is going to be the excitement of Touch of Disney. Because even though they said there would be 6 food vendors going down Performance Corridor, there's going to be so much more than that. There's going to be plenty of our favorite restaurants open where we can go and buy some of our favorite treats. But this little area that's been open right now in free DCA, you walk up to one kiosk and then you can essentially order anything from all the other kiosks. When they say 6 different food stands, I would expect for these 6 to have very, very specialty items. And the best part is, because it's Touch of Disney, we're not limited to DCA. With Disneyland being closed and this being Touch of Disney, we will actually be able to get treats that we all know from being across the Esplanade over at Disneyland. That means Dole Whip and this, a little bite-sized ripper of a Monte Cristo. And let me say this, the real Monte Cristo over at the Blue Bayou, that's too much Monte. Nobody needs to Cristo that hard in their life. That thing should be called Monstro Cristo. Aside from the return of some Disneyland classics, we'll also be able to have items like these funnel carrot cake fries. And for those of you that are into vibes, beginning March 11th, table reservations for Lamplight Lounge and Carthay Circle Lounge will open up for Touch of Disney. Now, you know you're going to eat some food because, once again, you get that $25 voucher. But there's also going to be select stores that will be open. And Off the Page has been such a huge success during this moment. It feels most like going into a Disney experience with its unusual merchandise. But you will literally be able to shop all around Disney's California Adventure to be able to find apparel, accessories, that souvenir that you need, and even a chance to get back into buying Disney Parks designer collection ears. Currently, they're not doing embroidery on Mickey ears. I wonder if they will do it for this event because I always get those when my friends have kids, and I'm now backed up 2 babies. Pro tip, always give those to your friends when they have new kids. It is such a great gift to give a newborn. This footage we're looking at here really kind of shows what it's like to be in the parks right now. You just stop and admire things that you never paid attention to. The specialty stores have been doing a lot of heavy lifting, providing the Disney magic. Expect shopping to be another big part of your evening out for Touch of Disney. They will also have carts around selling select merchandise, probably merchandise catered for the event. So there will be shopping, and it's going to feel real good to get in some old stores that we haven't been in for a while, such as Bing Bong's, which is on the very farthest corner of Pixar Pier. It's going to feel so great to walk over there and pick up some confections. If you enjoyed the recent WandaVision photo op, there's going to be plenty of photo opportunities, unique photo opportunities that will pop up for Touch of Disney. And with unlimited downloads from PhotoPass included with your $75 ticket, you're going to probably want to take advantage of this. Because aside from photo opportunities, characters are returning. You'll be able to see Mickey and Minnie back in the park, along with a lot of your old friends. It's going to be so nice to see those citizens of Disneyland return to Disney's California Adventure. I'm sure we'll be talking so much more about Touch of Disney, and I hope to get in there to cover it for you weekly. But that's not the only news that broke this week. We learned that on May 2nd, that the Disney Vacation Club villas would be reopening at Disney's Grand Californian. Now, if you remember, this was something that was supposed to happen right around the beginning of December, which collided with the re-shutdown of food due to California guidelines. The entire resort will not be back open. This is only for Disney Vacation Club members, but it is another nice step towards normalcy. And I had a couple of DVC members reach out to me after I did a video talking about that reopening, and they explained to me what they pay and how that system works. And DVC Club members, you deserve to be back way before everyone else. But where my curiosity is lying with the Disneyland Resort, because DVC Club members won't be back till May, but what I'm wondering about is what is mid-March to early April going to look like? The audiences have been picking up, but this is the audience picking up with DCA being open for free. What kind of attendance will we have when this limited engagement, they're only selling so many tickets for those 15 nights, and then twice a week, we will see that DCA will fully be shuttered. There has been zero confirmation of Disneyland reopening at all at any capacity during any of this. So I'm very curious, what will the crowds look like when there's a certain amount of people that are only going to be able to get into downtown Disney? Downtown Disney has really been growing, but it could be very misleading because so many of these people are showing up knowing they can get back into DCA. I'm also curious, will the backlot premiere shop become once again a part of downtown Disney proper, or will that stay as another shopping section inside of DCA for the evening events? Attendance has been organically growing, but I'm very curious to see what it happens when a select amount of people show up knowing that they can't get in to the only park that's open. I would love to know your thoughts. Will you go on an evening when you know that you can't get into Touch of Disney? Will you still go to just downtown Disney if it no longer includes getting inside of DCA? Now, I will always give it to you straight and honest. I love Disneyland. I love the parks. But I will give you criticism when criticism is due, and therefore you can always trust my opinions. This section of Hollywood Studios was so well orchestrated on which direction you were supposed to come in and come out. But as the attendance is built, I have noticed that this area has become a bit of a mess. People coming and going down various paths. There's no longer a clear direction on which way you're supposed to go. I hope that Disney can handle larger crowds and they stay resilient on managing VIDs, very important Disney's guests that I refer to as think that, no, the rules don't apply to me. Here you see over in the edge of Grizzly Peak how they inserted this walkway in between the two rows of tables. There's also another walkway here. You'll see it's over on the other side as well. This is interesting to me because it's just creating more people to walk past those that are eating. And when you eat, you take your mask off. I noticed many people that just chose this as a shortcut, therefore creating a unnecessary cross-contamination. The Star Wars Trading Post is showing what downtown Disney can do, though, how it can bring in folks. This new store, they really did a fantastic job on theming it. It's not quite a full Disneyland experience, but it does go beyond the threshold of what we've all come to expect for downtown Disney. These type of experiences is what the resort will need in the future when more and more people just can't get into the parks, when there's a possible non-existence of annual passes. For people that want to experience the magic, it is nice to see them doing this in the retail spaces. I did a full review of the Star Wars Trading Post. I was there on the opening day. My video was a little bit different than others. I showed you more of the actual detailing, the work that the Disney Imagineering had done to the interior of this. I was just so curious to see when Walt Disney Imagineering gets involved, you know you're going to get story, you know you're going to get details, and this store really delivers on an experience that I think a year ago would have really blown our minds to get this much storytelling outside of the actual gates of the park. And speaking of being outside of the park, I guess when you put a trading post in town, you start to get new visitors, because out of nowhere, this Lego Chewie showed up, which is such a fun addition to have on the main thoroughfare of downtown Disney. These little stop, take a photo moments, it just reminds you that, yeah, you're in a shopping district, but a very, very special one. And speaking of which, WonderGround Gallery reopened last week. When I showed up at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday, it was a 2-hour wait to get into the virtual queue. And then when I showed back up in front of the store, it was going to be an additional 30 to 45 minutes to get into WonderGround and shop. So this type of highly detailed shopping experience, this is what downtown Disney needs to focus on moving forward to give people a taste of the magic when they can't get in to the full thing. There are still a couple of locations that haven't fully reopened. The second smaller Starbucks that sits west of the monorail track, for whatever reason, they haven't opened up the second location. Would really like to get in there because the main one stays quite busy. So great to see you. It is a lie. It is a lie. They are not happy to see me. They are not opening their doors, and I'm not happy about it. Sprinkles has yet to reopen as well. They were open for a bit during the shutdown. You could do carry out only on their delicious cupcakes and what I say is the world's greatest gluten-free chocolate chip cookie. My wife has to eat that way, and that cookie will just floor you whether you eat that way or not. But it's interesting. The crowds have returned. Food has returned. But yet, my dear and precious Sprinkles has not opened yet. The first week that it does, I'm getting a Sprinkles, I'm getting a salt and straw, and I'm doing a combo deal. Straight up a la mode Sprinkles and straw. And the popular restaurant Flush Eanes has not reopened. I really hope that Flush Eanes gets back open for the Touch of Disney event. I mean, you see all these people sitting out on its beloved courtyard and you think, oh, Flush Eanes is back open. I'm going to go back in and get one of my favorite treats. But no, Flushing's still closed. Fingers crossed that this one at least reopens or becomes an amazing photo op, because who doesn't love Flushing's? There was a suspicious crane that was over the top of the WEB, the Web Slingers attraction. I know that there are some now spider bots on that front facade. They have put the open house banners on there. I wasn't fortunate enough to see any workers installing anything, but when I went back in the evening, the crane had been shut down and removed. So they're still fine tuning. I want to take a moment to just put everything into context. I know that it's going to be hard to get a ticket to Touch of Disney. I know many of us are bummed out we don't have our annual passes and the park is closed. But let us not lose sight that all of this has been done, because this flag is half-mast at Disneyland, and so is the main flag that goes down in the hub. You couldn't actually see it over the top of the train station like you normally can, because we have lost 500,000 Americans in the last year. That is a huge number, and I would gladly give up another year of Disneyland and the entire resort being closed to bring those people back to their families. So if you've lost anyone, friends, I do not take this pandemic lightly. I understand why we're in this situation, and I'm always willing to comply by the rules and do whatever it takes to get us back to something that feels like normal as soon as possible. Well, friends, that's everything new that I was able to spot this week at Disneyland. That's also some details that I was able to give you about Touch of Disney. Are you going to go? Comment below. I hope to try to get there about once a week to keep covering everything, but it's probably going to be hard to figure out the ticketing and getting there. But leave a comment below. Are you going to go to the event, or will you still show up at Downtown Disney even if you don't have the event? I'd love to hear your opinion. Please do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. When you do so, think about hitting that bell, because every time I go to the park, I do a live stream, and they are so much fun with my rad community of people that support my channel over at club1313.com. If you enjoy my videos and you want to become a member of the club and support me putting up these videos, please consider becoming a member today. Friends, until the next time I see you standing inside a DCA for Taste of Disney, I'll see you back here soon with more Disneyland news.
Look at that, right? Right? Good things are getting ready to happen. I mean, I'm even excited to see the Zephyr. Yeah. Any day now. Any day now. Gonna get some good news.